You'll take my life, but I'll take yours too. You fire musket, but I'll run you through. So when you're waiting for the next attack, you better stand, there's no turning back.
Hey there, film buffs. What's up? It's Straight Shooter. Welcome to another episode of How I See It. Coming at you again from Team Sound Studios. As always, today I'm going to be giving you my spoiler review of 1917. Another movie that's up for Oscar noms. We'll see tomorrow how well it does in that category. So it's a war movie. Takes place during World War I. And the plot of the movie, if you've seen the trailers, you actually kind of know already what the plot is. There's this battalion that is going to attack the Germans, and our side realizes that it's going to be a trap because there are more forces than they're anticipating, so they have to get a message to that battalion in order to tell them to hold off the attack. So they choose two soldiers. One of them has a brother in that battalion. They travel across the country to get the message to them. And I know in today's society it's kind of silly because messages being sent is as quick as instant, but this is the early 1900s. You didn't have that technology then. So that's how you got messages across enemy line to your side. You sent people as messengers. So the two people go out and they run across a bunch of difficult circumstances. There's this plane that crashes right by them, and it's a German soldier in the plane, but they help him out because he's about to burn alive. The German soldier still tries to kill them. He stabs the one guy, the guy that has the brother in the other battalion. So it's left to one guy that has to deliver the message. He runs into a bunch of Germans and meets a French girl, and they have a conversation, and she actually helps him because he's wounded a little bit. And then he carries on. Then he has to go across the river. He travels through the river, and he's tired, he's exhausted, and he just barely makes it right as they're about to attack. So he has to find the general, which is played by Benedict Cumberbatch. Of course, you know him as Doctor Strange. You might also know him as Smaug. At first, he's resistant. He's like, why would we hold off to the attack? We've got them on the run. And he says, I have orders from General blah, blah, blah. And he's like, okay, so have everyone stand down. And he saves a lot of lives because even though some people already went in the first wave and got injured, there would have been a lot more lives lost had they went through with the attack. But as we found out, it was also a bit pointless because he ends up telling them, well, if we don't attack today, we'll get new orders to attack on another day. So you know probably what's going to happen is they're going to get into another battle, and the same thing is probably going to happen. But the story isn't focused on that. The story is focused on the two people that went across the country to deliver the message. And it was a very heroic story. And by the way, the movie was meant to be one continuous shot, meaning the camera doesn't go off and there isn't another camera. It's basically supposed to be like one camera is used. But of course, there are some spots in the movie where you can spot okay, this is where the filming stopped and they started again, like one part where it's dark, another part where they pass through a brick wall when they're panning, and you see another shot. And he meets the guy's brother that he traveled with, and he says, your brother was a good man, and I'm sorry for your loss, and I'd like to write to your mom and tell her about your son. And he said, of course. That's the end of the movie. It starts with them getting the orders, and it ends with him at the 2nd Battalion, or whatever it's called. Let me first say, as far as war movies go, I'm kind of iffy on them. I don't seek out war movies to watch them. It has to be really good quality. And I think this is a rare instance where I actually like the movie in spite of the fact that it's a war movie, because it's different than most other war movies that I've seen. Most war movies are centered around the violence and the action and everyone being all, "Hoo, we gotta kill them," and charging into battle and all this stuff. But this movie was all about the two people that became one. The story of how he found the other battalion and was able to deliver the message and stop a suicidal attack. In that aspect, I think it's refreshing, because you don't see a lot of movies where, in such an epic scale like World War I, they contain it to, like, they bring it down to this. And you're just seeing, like, what's happening with tunnel vision. And once in a while, you'll see a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but you're never deviating off the path of the people that are trying to deliver the message. I think it was really well done, to be honest with you. I enjoyed it. I think it was a diamond in the rough as far as war movies go. I would recommend it, whether you're into war movies or whether you're not and you're looking for a story about heroes, but not necessarily war heroes. The underdog. Because the two people that are trying to deliver the message were the underdogs. They're these soldiers that were picked at random, and they're not anything special. They're not high ranking. They're not known among their units. They were just picked because, well, maybe because the one guy has the brother in that battalion, but they were picked because they needed someone to deliver the message, and they couldn't send the whole unit because it would look too conspicuous. And it was the underdogs that rose above and did what everyone thought would be impossible, because there was a lot of talk like they're not going to make it, but, well, one person made it. But still, even though the other guy was dead, the guy that made it carried him with him. In that sense, it was kind of inspiring. It makes you say, wow, like, this is a fresh take on World War I. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else I can say other than it was enjoyable. I would give the movie an A-. Not really big into war movies, but as far as war movies go, this was one of the good ones. So that's how I see it. And now I'm wrapping up review 3. I've got one more for you. Hope you've set some time aside to watch these. Or if not, watch the rest tomorrow. Just watch them. Like, subscribe, comment, whatever you want to do. And I'll see you in a little bit for my last review. Take care.